Welcome to Dirty Fanatics United.
Falcon fans, Falcon Nation, Dirty Fanatics United is coming at you live tonight, Sunday night, episode 104, as your Atlanta Falcons have soared to 6-3, as the title shows here tonight. Falcons soar in at 6-3. Not everything is big in Texas, and we're going to break it down here tonight on DFU. Falcon fans, hit that like button, leave a comment if you haven't already. We're talking Falcon football. There is 3 live viewers right now. Please tag a Falcon friend in the comment section. Leave a like. Subscribe if you haven't already, man. We're talking Falcon football. As always, I'm your host, C Money. You can call me Chase in the streets, but I am C Money here on DFU. As always, followed by my co-host, the man, the myth, the legend, Cody Keeler, down here in the bottom of your screen. And my guy, Robert, a.k.a. Mega Biff, is here to talk Falcon football. Philip, Mr. a.k.a. Avitz, is in your seat, is here to talk Falcon football. Falcon fans, hit that like button. We're talking Falcon football. Fellas, week 9. 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, week 9. Week 9 is in the books, guys, and we're 6-3 on top of the NFC South. If the Bucs lose to the Chiefs, obviously 2 games ahead of the Bucs here in the NFC South division. And now you're sitting at the number 2. You're looking at the number 2 seed. You're knocking on the door for that spot. You're at the number 3. You've beaten an NFC opponent in the Dallas Cowboys. The top paid quarterback, supposed to be the MVP.
Overpaid.
But your Atlanta Falcons defense finds ways to get to the quarterback. We talked about it, guys, in the pregame show. We talked about how if you got Dak rattled, this was the Atlanta Falcons game to lose. Philip, we'll start with you, brother. Rotate to Robert, then Cody. What's going on, man? The Atlanta Falcons are sitting at 6-3. Philip, how are we feeling? Break it down from the first snap of the game all the way to the end of the game. Let me know how your game day went here for DFU fans.
Okay, obviously we started the game. Just like any other game. I wanted the ball second half. It is what it is. We ended up going, 3 and out the first time, but it is what it is. We came back. Defense done their thing. Mm-hmm. Right. We did our thing. Defense showed out. No complaints there. We come out and just started scoring, and after that, it was just boom, boom. We led the game the entire game. So
yeah, Cowboys never took the league advantage in this game. You're exactly
at all. And from there, it just went off. We kept doing our thing. We kept, like we said, what we wanted to do. We kept stepping our foot on their neck. They couldn't get anything going, which was good. That's the way I like it. I never once thought today that we were going to blow this game, or that, whether we were going to lose or anything. I felt confident all the way through, and I stand with that. Even now, we're 6-3. I'm happy, man. Y'all just don't know. It's fun to watch this team again.
Philip, it feels good. Chat, we can all agree 6-3 feels good for these Atlanta Falcons.
Yes,
it's just fun to watch the game. Like, just watching the offense do. Even when our number 1 receiver went down, we still find ways to get in the end zone. We have Mooney shows out every single week as it is. Ray making catches. I figured we'd see a little bit more Kyle Pitts, but hey, we still, even without him, we still finding a way to move the ball, score.
The Kyle Pitts situation, I mentioned that during the live game in our chat. I said, where was Kyle Pitts at today? But I went back, did some research, watched the game a little closer. Kyle Pitts getting down and dirty in the blocking game here today for the Atlanta Falcons, doing big things there. I kind of like to see that out of Kyle Pitts, because you had moments last season and years prior to that. You've seen plays where it looked like Kyle Pitts just wasn't giving his effort in the blocking game. We actually talked about it here, the week 1 game against the Steelers. Kyle Pitts not giving a very good chip block. But now you see Kyle Pitts down 3 fingers in the dirt, playing dirty blocking football here for the Atlanta Falcons. Kyle Pitts didn't get the big numbers that we expected, as we always seem to do as fans, because Kyle Pitts is who he is. Kyle Pitts, number 4 pick for a reason. But Kyle Pitts doing what an overall tight end does here today, doing a big thing, making plays happen for other players. Kyle Pitts, a selfish player, which is what you want on football teams. You want a guy that can do it all, a guy that doesn't have to have the stats and the numbers. Philip, continue on, brother. If not, we'll pass this thing over to Cody.
But yeah, like I said, I feel confident all the way through. We come up with the win. It's fun to watch this team again, man. Everything just feels good. Like I don't know. Even today, their defense impressed me today. I'm happy with what they did. We got the 2 sacks. Everybody can shut up now. So it is what it is. We should have had another one, but it is what it is. Things happen.
Yeah.
We got the win. I'm happy. I'm ready to move on and get ready to play in the swamp next week. You know, for the people that's
the
back in
Swampers, as our
that
guy
is,
John Fricky would say.
You know, the people that's, you know, sharing the basement right now with the Panthers. So
yeah, dirty swamp people are in the bottom of the basement today, losing today to the Carolina Panthers. Cam Jordan crying on Twitter. I love to see it when Cameron Jordan's on Twitter crying.
They deserve so much more. Oh.
Yeah, dude, you and your fans are trash. Put your paper bags on and go back to the Watertown. Cody, you were at the game, brother. You felt all the highs and the lows of today's game. You were there in person watching Kirk Cousins cook for another straight week in a row, putting up 3 touchdowns in the air. Tyler Algier in the touchdown for 4 touchdowns on today's game. Your Atlanta Falcons almost break the 30-point scoring range again this season. Cody, how are we feeling about this Atlanta Falcons offense and today's performance from defense? Cody, take it away from the moment you woke up, tailgating, to the football experience in the bins. Cody, how was today's game for you, man? How was today's overall? If you had to do a vlog, how did the day pan out for Cody?
Well, man, I'll tell you what. I would say, if you guys can't tell, my voice is we're pretty KO'd right now. If you want to take the best way I could say this, everything that was wrong with the Seattle game went right today in with Dallas. Man, the walking into the bins, you could feel an energy there, man. It was insane. I would say Falcon fans showed up and got there. Were in their seats when it was time to be in your seats. It was a good thing to see. Standing in line there, waiting to get in. You're seeing all the white jerseys, all the blue jerseys, and you're thinking, man, they're going to be loud. But I tell you what, Falcon fans, hell of a job by the fans today, man. Before we get into the players, I would say hell of a job by the fans today to make the Dallas Cowboy fan, faithful that were there, made them quiet. They were quiet. They could not get it louder than us. They would not get louder than us. And we just, not only did our team outperform the Cowboys, our fans outperformed their fans. And that's always a good thing to see. Man, I'm with Philip on this one, man. I never felt like we were ever out of control this game. Even when we go, get that 3 and out and that bull crap penalty that, stalled our first drive. Dallas kind of moves down there. And even when they were moving down, I'm going, you know what? This defense is looking different. I really felt like once we held them at 3 points, I was like, Dallas is in trouble for right now. Dallas is absolutely in trouble. And sure enough, Kirk and the offense, take that second possession, score, take it right down and run it and pass it right down their throats, boys. At no point in this game did I ever feel like Atlanta wasn't in total and complete control. We did. I don't care what anybody says. We did have to play the referees a little bit today. We did have some untimely penalties again, which, have still got to be cleaned up. But for the most part, they figured it out. They got for lack of a term, guys, they got their shit together and they took the referees out of it the rest of the way of this game. Bijan, they had nothing for Bijan Robinson today. Bijan was cutting through that defense and you could tell that they were frustrated. Cowboy fans were frustrated with seeing him. That was all Mom could say was like, I can't believe how he moves. I can't believe how fast he is. I can't believe that they can't get him on the ground. And that's just the player that Bijan is. Like I say, Kirk again, man, just absolutely did his thing. The touchdown to Ray where Dallas brings that blitz, man. and Kirk sees it right away, and you could see him. I mean, he picks up that blitz, and he knows exactly what Dallas is doing, and you can see him, motion over to Ray, and sure enough, just floats it just perfect dime right in there, and I mean, we never took our foot off the gas. It was a little frustrating towards the end, after Dak is benched with a hamstring injury is what I understood. It was a little frustrating to watch Cooper Rush come in finally, and they were able to make it a 5-point game. I really wish that we had been able to finish with the 14-point lead. That the score definitely looks a lot closer than it actually was. But your Atlanta Falcons came in today; they weren't flat. The fans weren't flat. There was definitely energy all game long. I yelled and screamed. My voice, cut in and out on me. I was yelling and screaming so much. The Benz was on fire today, boys, and that's exactly what we need. That's what we need for, our playoff run. That's what we're going to need for our Super Bowl run, I would say. But this was a complete game. This was the game that the Atlanta Falcons had to have, not had to have, but this was the kind of game that the Falcons needed to have. Come out, be completely dominant. Come out.
This game is probably your most dominant game all around until the last drive of the fourth quarter. Absolutely. Your last few drives in the fourth quarter were kind of stumbling there. You were trying to move the chains. Run blocking wasn't quite the action today in the last 5 minutes of the game, but it is what it is. Your Atlanta Falcons walk away today 6-3 in the NFC. Your Atlanta Falcons, the third seed right now. If the season ends, the Atlanta Falcons sit nice at the third seed with a definite playoff spot. Obviously, next week you take on the New Orleans Saints, looking to sweep another NFC South division opponent. Robert, we're coming to you with your game day experience today, brother. But before we do, the chat is popping off. Want to show love to the guys in the chat. EQRC says, hello, Falcon fans. Falcons win. Just feels so good to beat the Cowboys. The Cowgirls, correction, Cowgirls. Absolutely, EQRC. Glad to have you here, brother. Hit that like button. Shout out to cousin Jan in the chat with the like. Hit that like button, Falcon fans. We need each and every one of you guys to hit the like button. My guy, Abno in the chat said, rise up 6-3, feeling good. Feeling good, baby. Flying high. EQRC says 6-3 is in the books. Yes, first time since 2016, Falcon fans. First time since 2016. Let me know how you guys feel in the comment section. How are we feeling about these Atlanta Falcons? Are we where you thought we would be? Are we better than what you thought we were going to be? Let me know in the comment section. How are we feeling about these Atlanta Falcons? Cody Victor Perez in the chat says, Cody smoking that cowgirl pack. Shit. The cowgirl pack on the live stream, Cody, that's disrespectful now. Your mom's a part cowgirl fan. So
yes. Man, I tell you what, you could so that was kind of one of the more fun experiences today was watching mom in her split Falcon and split Cowboy jersey. You could tell that she was upset on the Cowboys side, but at the same time, this woman also knows D. Alfred, and let me say that D. Alfred had himself a game today, boys.
He did.
Alfred showed up. How big was that punch out of that ball in the fourth quarter to keep the Cowboys to make them go to send them back? Because that was a first down, and D comes in and he knocks that ball out. D had himself a hell of a game, and I told Mom, I was like, and that's what I told her. I was like, next time you see D at the dealership when he comes in to get his stuff serviced, you tell D that DFU has nothing but great things to say about him, and he needs to come on this podcast, and he needs to come talk about how. I mean, let's be honest. D showed up today against the Cowgirls, and it was something to watch because every time I would tap her on the shoulder and be like, hey, there's your boy D again. There's your boy D again. Man, this was just one of those games, man, that like I say, the only thing that I was a little frustrated with was the last kind of 5-6-ish minutes. You couldn't get the first downs, but Dallas is also expecting you to run the ball, and so that's got to be cleaned up. I think that's, it was kind of boring play calling. I think it was very uncreative. It became very bland. I think you got a little too conservative there towards the end. Man, you know what? Hey, we'll take the W any way that we get it. But today was a good day, boys. I still got the war paint on. It's all
It
smeared.
was a very good day for me at the house watching the game, as well as Philip at the crib watching it at the crib. It was a lit experience to see the Falcons even. I mean, it's the Cowboys, people, America's team. So to watch your Atlanta Falcons beat the Cowboys was fascinating for me at home in front of the fans, as Cody stated. The fans showed up and showed out. I've seen Aunt Pam's live before the game, and Aunt Pam was recording the Dirty Bird Nest walking in. I'm like, holy shit! Like the fans are bringing it today, people. The fans are bringing what the Falcons stand for in a situation where your team can go 6-3. Robert, you were at the house as well. Game day experience, Robert, from the very beginning. How did this game pan out? Was it what you were expecting? Did the Falcons come out and just wow you today, or was it a game where you're still saying Falcons could have did a little more, or are we pleased here today, Robert?
I think that we did everything that we were supposed to do, and especially early on, everything that we talked about on the show last night pretty much fell into place. The defense did give up some big plays on the first drive. The Cowboys got a field goal out of that. Next drive, we were bringing the heat. We were pressuring Dak. I loved seeing that. We got 2 sacks.
Yes,
Caden Ellis did a great job leading this defense today.
Yes,
I want to give a shout out to him. Caden, I hope you're watching, dude, because you played a great game today.
yes, he did.
Offensively, pretty much did what I thought we'd do. Kirk had a solid game. He didn't have to do a whole lot. 3 touchdowns. And boys, I'm telling you, if Kirk is not considered for league MVP this year, it's a travesty.
Robert, I had this conversation today, brother, and I was listening to Fox Sports before the game, and there was one announcer that actually talked about Kirk Cousins being in the running for MVP, and I was thinking, wow, dude, like this is 2016 vibes all over.
Yeah,
officially in that MVP race and run here, and now it's week 9, and you're hearing Kirk Cousins a potential MVP candidate, no matter if he wins it or not, but to have him as a comeback player of the year type award, that would be dope to see Kirk Cousins, your first year here in Atlanta, comeback player of the year. Robert, I don't mean to cut you short, but you bring up a great point there.
Yes,
Kirk Cousins could seriously be in this MVP race.
Yeah, I mean, look what he's done so far. I mean, comparing, what Kirk's done this year to the quarterback play we've had the last 2 years, there's no question. I mean, he has been the offensive leader that we have been missing since Matt left.
Yep.
I know a lot of the fan base hates Matt, and it's not a justifiable hate, but a lot of them hate Matt. Kirk has proven his worth. Y'all were griping about the contract. He's proven why we signed him to that money. He's proven why we brought him here. The man is a leader.
Mooney as well. Mooney as well.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, Falcon fans, it felt good to see. Go ahead, Robert. My bad, brother.
It's been a very pleasant surprise for us. I'm tickled to death that we brought him aboard.
That was possibly one of your best off-season signings. Darnell Mooney is definitely one of your best signings you made here. Terry cooking in the lab.
Yeah, and that's the thing too that you got to think too is like you want to, people want to complain about Kirk, but if Kirk doesn't come here, Darnell Mooney doesn't come here either.
Exactly.
Because Kirk went and made sure that we went and got him.
Yeah.
I mean,
100%, man. Kirk Cousins.
Stanford.
My guy Yara Van Reen is in the chat, man. Shout out to Jan, ATL native, my cousin, all the way from the A. Says things are clicking with the Dirty Birds. Pitt's definitely showing up with the blocking. So many tight ends nowadays act like receivers and put soft blocks, but when a good tight end can send a good block, can change a lot of things. Falcon fans, that's what I mean about when I went back and watched gameplay today. I seen Kyle Pitts being called for these edge blocks. There was a lot of run game that Kyle Pitts made happen today because he was still in the edge. Kyle Pitts did what tight ends do here today in the league. He had his 2-touchdown game last week. So Raheem said, let's put your hand in the dirt. Let's get dirty this week. And that's what we did here. Kyle Pitts making a significant effort here in the blocking game to put the Atlanta Falcons at a 6-3 here on the season, man. It feels good as Falcon fans. Falcon fans, let me know 6-3 in the chat. Is the Atlanta Falcons a good playoff team, or is the Atlanta Falcons a fraud? Let me know in the chat. Get it started. 1 for a good team, 2 for fraud. 6-3, your Atlanta Falcons sit NFC South leaders. The Sports Night is in the chat. Said, how about the Bird Lady finally getting her justice dessert? Yes, sir. She is officially, I'm pretty sure, banned from the bench. She was taken away today in handcuffs.
I think she's in jail, bro.
Yeah, she's in jail right now.
She's probably in jail. Falcon fans, there's 12 live viewers. Whether you're on YouTube or Facebook, hit that like button. Tag a Falcon friend. Bring them here in the DFU chat. Give us your questions and thoughts about the Atlanta Falcons. My guy Jan is in the chat. Said, flags hurt us bad. It's good to see the team rally after tough calls and tough refs. Absolutely, because it seems like, man, you take one step forward, you get that first down. Like the Tyler Algier run, his first snap of the game, he goes in there, brings you a big, aggressive, angry run, big first down, and they pull it right back. And that's where when we was in a group chat, and as soon as it would be a good drive, it's like a flag. And I would initially text the group chat and say, wasted drive, because every second down you were going from a 2nd and 15 to a 2nd and 20. You cannot win football games that way, but the Atlanta Falcons found a way today to make that happen. Flags definitely hurt us badly leading into Week 9. It's still a problem when it comes to these flags, fellas, and it's not little flags. It's 10-yard penalty flags that really crucially matter in this Atlanta Falcons offense. We're still ranking number 6 in the NFL at total offense, so the Falcons are still cooking when it comes to chemistry and points, but Falcon fans, let's talk about chemistry for a second. Kirk Cousins and Darnell Mooney have probably the best chemistry out of this whole team. Can we agree to that?
Without a doubt.
Absolutely.
That connection is something special, and that's what is going to take this team deep in the playoffs, because when you have a Drake London that can get separation, that can make freakish catches like he did today for that touchdown to put the first touchdown on the board, you have a Darnell Mooney that other defenses have to plan for. And when you can have 2 receivers over 500 yards, a passing quarterback that's throwing 3 to 4 touchdowns a week here in the NFL, that alone is a recipe to success. Trade talks are heating up on the defense side of the ball, Falcon fans. The Azeez Ojulari could definitely happen. I'm seeing it on NFL Network. I'm seeing it on Fox News. This is not just rumors and chat. This is the Atlanta Falcons being aggressive and looking for another pass rush. So, Falcon fans, Tuesday is the trade deadline. Hopefully we see something happen. Not too sure if the Falcons will. We may rock with what we have. But look for the Falcons to target the Giants, Azeez Ojulari. I believe that's how you pronounce it. I may be slaughtering that name. But he is a dominant pass rusher here, and this guy's could really take the Falcons deep in the postseason. Sterling Woods here in the chat says 6-3, rise up. Now let's go beat those Aints next week. Do we pick up and help on the defense before the trade line? Here Sterling Woods is with a great question right after we just talked about the trade deadline. We'll talk about this here for a second. And then, chat, let me know how you feel about a trade before the trade deadline Tuesday afternoon. Robert, we'll go to you with this question, sir, and then we'll rotate around the table. Do you look for your Atlanta Falcons to be in serious trade talks about a pass rusher here to make this deep run for the NFC?
I think so. I mean, that's the one area that we're still kind of lacking in. We came into today with, just 6 sacks through the first 8 games. Of course, we did get pressure on Dak today. I was pleased with that, but defense wins championships, and it starts, up front. We got to improve the pass rush. I think if we do that, we're going deep into the playoffs.
Yes,
really the only team that I think that, could really give us any real problem would be Detroit. And,
Detroit
if we can,
is for real,
we can give them guys a good fight.
Yeah. Detroit is a for real team. I will say that they are looking pretty nice on the road in in Green Bay. Making nice plays down in Green Bay in nasty weather. Dominant performance here from the Detroit Lions week after week. Last week putting up 50-something points. So, Falcon fans, if you want to get through the playoffs, you're going to have to go through Detroit. It's looking like, unless Detroit can start losing games here, it's going to be a fun playoff. And I think the Falcons right now can compete with anybody that is in this playoff bracket that we may see here heading into the Super Bowl. But guys, to see your Falcons in the second round, the first round of the playoffs, I'm over the moon. I'm over the moon if the Falcons can make the playoffs this season. I don't want to see the Falcons sell short, especially if you go and you get this pass rush, because this sign to me, and I may be just a Falcon fan that's head over heels for his team, but this move to me signifies that we have a real chance of making it deep in the postseason. If the Falcons pull the trigger on this pass rusher, it tells me we're all in for the Super Bowl ring. Cody, your thoughts on the trade deadline? Could the Falcons pull the trigger on a Z Ojulari here from the New York Giants, or do the Falcons maybe go back with a veteran presence and a Calais Campbell by Tuesday afternoon? Cody, your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I think Jalari is probably the play, man. I think it's going to happen. Was something that we talked about, before the season started. Arthur Blank is in win mode now. He's not looking 2 years down the road. He's not looking 3 years down the road. He is looking for that Super Bowl now. And I can tell you, yes, Detroit is definitely a good football team. But I can tell you right now, Detroit does not want to run into a hot Atlanta Falcon team. This team is something else. And as soon as we can get quarterbacks on the ground, it's game over for a lot of these other teams. We're averaging almost 30 points a game, and our defense is inept as we are right now at getting sacks. We're still getting good pressure, and we're beating teams. We're beating teams, with 6 sacks. It's 7 or it's 8 sacks now. But we're beating teams and we're not sacking the quarterback. So can you imagine what happens if you bring in Azeez Ojulari in and now you're getting the quarterback on the ground 3-4 times a game? It's scary to think about. And I think that Arthur Blank, like I said, we all know Arthur Blank is in win mode now. He wants a Super Bowl this year. He doesn't want it next year. He doesn't want it in 2 years. He wants it now. So do not be surprised if he tells Terry, go get you a guy. Go get you one more piece. Go find that. I think Drake London was the one who said is that we're missing that one piece. And then once we have that one piece, it's going to be deadly. And I think that's probably the piece. That is the piece we're missing, is just that one extra guy. Judon on one side, Ojulari on the other side. You've got Amimata and you've got Grady Jarrett. You've got Goldman and all that stuff. I think it's one of those things the Falcons almost have to at this point. Go get him. I don't care what it costs you in picks. I don't care what it costs you in money. Go do it, because it's time to go. It's time to win now.
Absolutely, Cody. Philip, obviously having technical difficulty over there. The question was the trade deadline. Do you think the Atlanta Falcons could make a push here for a defensive end from the Giants, Azeez Ojulari? Could the Falcons pull the trigger? Philip, we talked about this move potentially signifying that the Falcons are bought in. The Falcons are all in on a playoff season, a playoff run, a deep run at that, because if you're trading mid-season, you're looking to go get that ring. Philip, your thoughts on, could the Falcons make a trade by Tuesday's deadline? Or is this something you think is just not going to happen? It's a little too late in the season. We'll rock with what we have. Or are you seeing a move here? What do you think?
From the reports, it's saying we're aggressive. So that tells me there that we're trying and probably most likely going to make a trade here. And to go in and make a deep run, doing, just to do what we do best. I'm feeling confident in it. I'm all for this, you know what I mean? Having Azeez here, I mean, that's a game changer here, you know what I mean? He's already got like five sacks for himself at the moment or something like that I've seen. So just to bring that here to Atlanta and gaining 5 more or, just whatever, that's huge. That's what we need. That's a game changer, along with just giving help alongside, Judon, Grady, the rest of the Onyemata, the rest of the line, Damon Harris, I can go on. We have a lot of guys on that O or D line that could, it could help. It can make them look better, So I wouldn't be surprised if we make a trade either tomorrow or before or Tuesday, before the deadline actually ends. So,
absolutely, man. I'm right with it, Falcon fans. I'm for this trade. If you get a pass rush to bring in, like Philip speaks on, this just frees up so many more people, man. These big signings that you went and grabbed, this is going to really open up when you have a guy that has pretty much the same amount of sacks that your whole team has for the season. So when you can bring in a player like that can match with other players like Grady Jarrett, obviously coming off of a Achilles strain here. We're going to talk about that here soon. Injury report coming around. Jan in the chat says, feeling real good, brother. It was hard to say how the season would go, but I couldn't be happier. Real quick, shout out to Larry A. Sams Jr. on Facebook, Preston Sapp, Jan Van Reen for the like. Falcon fans, if you're on YouTube, hit that like button. Leave a comment. You do not understand how much it helps here for the algorithm of the channel. Leave a comment, leave a like, a share, tag a Falcon friend. We're trying to get 1K subs, guys, and we cannot do it without your help. So please help us out. EQRC in the chat says, sweeping Tampa Bay impressed me and got me really excited for this season. Let's go 6-0 in division. Well, I love it, bro. That's the plan.
Listen,
it starts Sunday in New Orleans. You sweep the Aints, and then you take the Carolina Panthers, and you just kind of you play with those little kitty cats. You play with them. You kind of let them hang around for a little while, close them out, sweep the whole NFC South. We're looking nice. You're definite a playoff spot. I mean, you're sitting at 6-1. You're 6-1 in the NFC conference, and you're undefeated in the NFC South.
Yes, you're also 5-1.
It doesn't get any better, Falcon fans.
You're 5-1 in the last 6 games. We looking good, man.
It doesn't get any better, bro. It doesn't get any better. Falcon fans, hit that like button, man. We are talking Falcon football. As always, leave a comment. We love to answer your guys' questions. Matt Town Dirty in the chat said, Falcons put belt to butt on them Cowgirls today, baby.
Somebody say belt.
Belt.
Hey, well, we're about to take these Falcon fans that are here in the chat section over to Avis Avenue here real soon. So we promise to get to your guys' comments. I'm not going to leave you guys out, but you just give us a quick second. We're going to go ahead and bring this thing, drive this Mercedes G100 down to Avis Avenue here for you diehard Falcon fans. Let's get it.
Howdy, boys. How y'all doing tonight? Welcome to Avis Avenue tonight. We got a special for you here from Atlanta today.
We in your city.
We definitely in your city. Well, y'all know how we doing. We running around these parts. You feel me? Go start off with the man Kirk Cousins himself, who is also going on to probably another Atlanta Falcons MVP possibility. You know, maybe we get to see another one, 7 to 8 years later. But he had himself a day. He went 19 for 24, threw for 222 yards, and had 3 touchdowns on the day. That is crazy. Just for one day, we got to give a shout out.
That's my quarterback.
We got to give a shout out to my cousin, my first cousin. He did his thing today. So shout out to my first cousin, Kirko, right there. And then we're gonna go ahead and go on to the next player, which had himself a day today. He rushed for 19 carries, 86 yards, and averaged around 4.5 yards today. All right. He also had, which is Bijan Robinson. He had 7 receptions for 59 yards and averaged 8.4 yards after the catch. So yes, sir. We're gonna keep it moving on. Next player goes to that man himself, Darnell Mooney. Just give me my money. You feel me, baby? 5 receptions for 88 yards and averaged 17.6 per game, and had 1 touchdown on today. Next we're gonna give it to the tackle leader, the guy who got the game ball himself, which I'm really impressed with today, which is Cade Dallas himself on the other side of the ball. Had 8 tackles for 5 assists and got record sack for 1 today, something we ain't seen in weeks. So shout out at Cade Dallas, and we're gonna go also to the man himself, Grady Jarrett, the person that you shall not pass by. Okay, he left the game early with an Achilles strain. They did say he will be okay. It was just more of precaution. Didn't want to cause anything. So, but he also recorded 2 tackles today, 2 tackles on today, and recorded also a sack. So shout out that boy Grady. Man, I hope you get better. You and Drake yourselves.
Yeah,
let's get back.
We're definitely going to need
this game, man.
We're going to need those 2 people, Philip. As you said, Grady Jarrett does big things here for these Atlanta Falcons, and he showed it today coming out the gate. sack master, dude. I mean, Grady Jarrett is just, I mean, bro, there was just one play, and I don't know if at the game, Cody, if you got to see it, but they broke it down on the TV where it was like Grady Jarrett calls to his D-line, and he's like, this is where they're going. They're going here. You hit that gap. I'm taking the A gap. You go here. Grady Jarrett, Caden Ellis calling it out, comes over, taps the nose guard, lets him know what hole to fill. And as soon as the ball snapped, Grady Jarrett just slithers through this one hole, dude. I mean, he just like a pro would. I mean, he is just dynamic at what he does. Grady Jarrett is a baller, and we've got Falcon fans. We have got to get this man a ring. We have got to get Grady a ring before his time is up here in Atlanta. Grady Jarrett, a dominant force here, man. I love Grady Jarrett. Hope to see big things from Grady. They did say in the press conference today that it was a precautionary decision to take Grady out of the game. Obviously, the Achilles injury is a very, very big, significant injury. Kirk Cousins bouncing off of that this season. You do not want a guy that just came off of a knee repair taking an Achilles injury. So you do pull him because you are going to need him, as we've talked about this season, a deep playoff push. You need this Drake London to be healthy. You need this Grady Jarrett to be healthy in this long stretch. Guys, we're not far from this bye week. I think it's 2 games away before we can get to a bye week. We can get a week off. We can get back healthy 100%. Maybe not 100%, an 85%. You're never 100% in the NFL after week 1. Maybe you can get to an 85% after the bye week, and this is when your Falcons take a real, just take off. The Falcons just take off after the bye. That's my prediction, Falcon fans. I really see that happening. Carlton Bunch in the chat. Falcon fans, Carlton Bunch is in the chat. Says, "Butt it up. What's up, DFU?" Carlton Bunch, hit that like button. Tag a Falcon friend on Facebook. Let them know where to find DFU. We're soon giving away a raffle, and that is the only way to enter for the raffle, being subscribed and tagging a Falcon friend. Wallace Smith is in the chat. Said, "What's going on, fam?" Just loving this dub. Just baby. Absolutely eating this dub. I absolutely loving this team. Kirk, he says, and Kirk is not that far off from what he was doing last year by week 8 when he got injured. Kirk Cousins is cooking, man. He came to Atlanta to deliver, and Kirk Cousins is doing exactly that. Shout out to you, Wallace Smith. Hit that like button. Sterling Woods with the 1 in the chat, as in the Falcons are the real deal. They are not frauds. The Atlanta Falcons are here to make a statement for these next few games to come before this bye week. If your Falcons can really – guys, could you imagine if you win every game here until the bye week? You're sitting what? 8-3. You're sitting what? 9-3, 8-3, something like that.
8-3.
So the bye week after is the bye week after the Saints game?
No. So we got Saints, and then we go
Denver.
To Denver. Yep.
Saints, Denver, bye. If you can pull out that stretch, if you can beat that Denver's defense, and you can go into a bye week and get healthy and come back, and I believe it's the Panthers after that. Panthers after the bye.
No,
L.A.
Chargers.
Chargers. Okay, you need that bye week. You need that rest to get ready for these Chargers at home. Justin Herbert, a pretty decent quarterback here. I truly, Falcon fans. It doesn't matter who we play. The Falcons are legit this year. I don't care who you are. The Falcons are legit. We'll argue in the comment section. Falcon fans of Sports Nuts is here in the chat. Said, "I'm so proud of the complete gameplay today. They came to play. Let's not stop. We have the Aints next week. Let's embarrass them. Run the scoreboard up. We still have yet to do that. We was up 14 points today. You let them excuse me. You let them score that late touchdown.
He's just choking just like they have the last 7 games.
Oh, shit.
God.
It's okay, folks. He's okay, but they aren't.
Falcon fans, hit that like button, man. But you see what you've done here with this offense, with a hurt Drake London. Hope to have Drake London back next week. He was still on the sideline dressed out, but the Falcons may be taking that caution to have him for that sweep of this NFC South title, man. Raheem Morris, that has been the goal from week 1, and he stated it multiple times this season. Outrun the South. The rest doesn't matter. Outrun the South, and that's what the Atlanta Falcons are waiting on. Wallace Smith in the chat said the Falcons are a good playoff team. Love to see it. We are
great.
Jan in the chat said, no doubt the Cousins-Mooney connection is solid. Defense is locking up Drake and giving Mooney his space. Soon the D will cover Mooney. hard, and then Drake will be there. Falcon fans, you cannot go wrong with this Atlanta Falcons offense. Don't forget the Kyle Pitts in the middle, the Bijan, the Tyler Algier, the Ray McLeod. Falcon fans, you have an offense. You have an offense here.
You know, and the thing is too is that that we look past because the connections are getting there for Kirk. This is year one, man. What is this going to look like in year two when Kirk is incredibly familiar with this system? What's it going to look like year three when we've got Kirk still going and these guys just keep getting better? That's the scary thing is they're already good now. And all they can do is get better from here. Yes. The more that they spend time together, the longer they play together. I mean, it's looking really good for the Atlanta Falcons for the next 3 to 4 years, guys.
Absolutely. Carton Bunch, appreciate the like, brother. Falcon fans, hit that like button. Leave a comment if you haven't already. Wallace Smith in the chat said, but it's good to see that our offensive line is blocking so well on passing plays to give Kirk time to go through his reads. Absolutely. And it showed on the plays that we weren't able to get the time to go through our pass progressions. But the Falcons offensive line has done pretty great. Kirk is ranking at like 10 with the most QB hits or some shit like that. But your O-line has grown, and you've had ache pains all year long on that O-line. You've had injuries pretty much since week 3 on the O-line, whether that be center, Dolman out again today, Ryan Uzil playing center, whether that be center, guard, Bergeron was out for a game. The only one that hasn't missed a game yet, knock on wood, Jake Matthews. Chris Lynch's been out a game. So, I mean, it's been tough sledding here for this O-line, but they have fought through the trenches and made it happen here because your Atlanta Falcons are ranking a top 10 offense in the 2024 season. Could not be happier. The Sports Nut says officially Falcons were credited with 3 sacks. That is correct. Ellis did get the last sack. The Falcons come away today with 3 sacks on the day. A1 Forever in the chat says, "What's up, fellas? 6-1 in the conference, 6-3 overall. Rise up." Absolutely, man. Yeah. Falcon fans did that like, but man, Phillips Wi-Fi is doing crazy things over there. He lives in the boonies, guys. He lives out in the boonies. Bear with us.
You know, and the crazy thing is, too, guys, if we win that Kansas City Chiefs game, which we should have after that, could you imagine right now sitting here 7-2? Just, if
you come in the bins,
yes,
and fucking play against the Seahawks, you're top of the NFC down there.
Yeah. No, I mean, could you imagine that you win that Seahawks game, you win the Kansas City game, which we should have, off that PI. Now you're sitting what? That makes us 8-1. I mean, this team, man, as and
really, we should have won week 1. You barely lost week 1 against the Steelers. That was a trap game, in my opinion. Kirk didn't look too great week 1. Obviously, chemistry wasn't there.
Yeah, but that's pretty much Kirk Cousins, preseason game, man. So you can almost wash that game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But man, what we're seeing this team do. And how close, I mean, it's not even like we're going and losing games by, outside of the Seahawks game. You take that Seahawks game, the only other 2 losses are all 1-possession games, man, and they're not against slouches. The Steelers, going in today are 6, were they 6-2 or 5-3 too? Kansas City's still undefeated, and those are the 2 other teams that those are the teams that we've lost to. It's like I say, again, I understand Detroit's playing great football right now, but Detroit doesn't want to see Atlanta come into their building. They do not want to see Atlanta come into their building. Nobody does, for that matter. Nobody wants to see this hot Atlanta Falcon team come into their building because, more than likely this team's scrappy, man. It just is from offense and defense. And this is the other thing too. Troy Anderson still hasn't got out. Not playing. Now, when he comes back, now you got Troy Anderson. Now you go get,
that's your blitzer, Cody.
Yeah,
Troy Anderson. That's the role that he would have played that Caden Ellis played today.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we know his speed or what he can do.
Yeah, and so you imagine when he comes back. So now you free up Caden Ellis. Now you go make this trade on Tuesday for Ojulari. I mean, it's just I keep thinking of things. It's just like, man, this team, there's just no downside to this team really other than sacking the quarterback. But it's just like, man, the scenarios just get better for us the more you look at it down the road, and the more that you try to take it one game at a time, one day at a time. But man, just as we continue to look forward, how much better this team can continue to be. It's insane, man. I just can't wait for it.
Absolutely, man. The Falcons are playing exciting football this season, bro. Like it's a time where Falcon fans can all agree, like, this is the team we've waited for. Like, this is the team that you've begged and prayed for, that is now officially finally here in Atlanta. Like, I told my brother-in-law today watching the game, and the game was over with, I said, bro, this whole season just hasn't felt real. He was like, bro, I feel the same way. I was like, it's just been so long that the Falcons have been good. Like, you're officially back in those days to where I can remember when I was a kid, bro, each game I just knew the Falcons were going to win. Like, I could remember, like, Falcons are going to make the playoffs this year. Duh, we make the playoffs every year. Falcons are making it this year. Right. And it's been so long since you've been able to say that. It's been 7 to 8 years.
Since 17.
It's been a while. It's been a while, Falcon fans, and it feels good to say that this is really the year. This is probably the year it's going to happen, unless you just have a complete. I mean,
New Orleans Saints.
Knock on wood. Unless you just have something crazy happen this season, your Falcons are making the playoffs, and that's what's so promising to me as a Falcon fan. Like, you have things to come to, like, you have things to look forward to. Each week is something to look forward to, because as a Falcon fan, bro, these past 2 years with Desmond Ridder, no knock to Desmond Ridder, Marcus Mariota, it's been tough because you've been trying to support the team throughout these years, and the quarterback has not been there. And Kirk Cousins is finally that guy to bring you back since the Matt Ryan era. We're going to talk team stats here because I like to talk about the team overall stats. Philip hit on player stats. The Cowboys, if you look at the stat sheet, the Cowboys should have beat the Atlanta Falcons today. Stat sheet-wise, the Cowboys had 378 total yards. The Falcons had 310. Passing yards, 241 to our 210. They're 137 to our 100. Rushing yards, 5.1 yards per play for them, 5.5 yards for us. First downs, they had 23. We had 17. Third down efficiency, still not hitting on third down. Fourth down efficiency is great. 2 for 2 on fourth downs. Third down efficiency, we sit at 4 for 13. They were 3 for 13. We were 2 for 2 on fourth downs. They were 1 for 5. Total plays, they had 74. Dude, go back. Backspace. They went for it 5 times on fourth down and only got it once.
Dude, what about that? When they faked the kick and he threw that
dude,
ball.
I called it. Cody, I called it, bro. I said, watch the fake, dude. Watch the fake. They went for it. They don't think the Falcons defense is real. I'm tired of teams disrespecting us. That's the only reason why they're
Yeah, no, and my thing about that is go ahead, keep trying that dumb shit, because as soon as they lined up, I was like, they're not punting this football.
No, you could
tell right away that they weren't punting that football, and he threw that, and that was the first thing I turned around and told my wife. I was like, that was some of the dumbest shit I've ever seen. And it's keep testing us, keep playing. I mean, that's fine by me. If you want to try to disrespect this defense, you want to disrespect this team like that, go for it, because we're gonna make you pay. So keep playing stupid shit with us and watch us come in and kick your teeth in, because Dallas Cowboys found out today you can't play us like that. You would have thought when Tampa Bay tried that cute crap, last week, that Dallas would have been like, man, maybe we probably shouldn't do this, because Tampa Bay found out the same way Dallas did today. You play Atlanta cute and find out what happens. It doesn't. It normally doesn't end up well for your team.
You've seen it, bro. The Falcons handled business today in the AAS. What's Drewski say, Philip? I'm standing on business. Don't even get me started, bro. Don't even get me started. EQR said they was interviewing Simmons earlier this season, and they had a Dallas hat on, but Dallas was wrote upside down. I just remember that after the hat. Philip, Falcon fans are loving the hat. Falcon fans love the hat. Sterling Woods in the chat said, are we undefeated in away games? I'm checking that right now for you.
Yes, we are.
We are. We are exactly undefeated on road games. So that is nice to see. Baby. That is nice to see, man, because you head to New Orleans. You want to continue that perfect record on the away take it to New Orleans. Take the broom with you. Pack it up. Philip's got the dustpan coming your way. FedEx shipping. Sweep the Saints Sunday. That is the motto for this week. Sweep the Saints Sunday. Philip, with the technical difficulties earlier, said he has Wi-Fi cut out. The wifey in the chat said Falcons winning equals happy husband. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the truest statement that's been in the comment section tonight. She said Philip loved the hat. Everybody loves the hat, Philip.
Shout out to Dylan.
Philip's got this new thing now where he's like, he trolls the teams on his Avis Avenue. So Falcon fans, if you haven't watched this live, go back and watch Philip's Avis Avenue. The past 2 weeks, it's been pretty nice. Philip's been doing big things here for the channel, man. Hit that like button, leave a comment. We're going to go back to stats, man, because we got a couple more to talk about before we get up out of here. I don't know. Did I finish the stats? No, I didn't. Sacks allowed. They allowed 3. We only allowed 2, which is pretty good. They ranked I think it was 15th in sacks. So we did pretty good against a decent sack team. They punted the ball 3 times to our 5. That's where those last drives in the fourth quarter were drubbing me raw because we were going 3 and out. We weren't moving the clock. We wasn't beating the clock. We wasn't playing 2-minute, 5-minute offense. Penalties, they had 9 for 55 yards. We had 4 for 26. So you win in that aspect. It still seemed like Falcons flags came in critical moments. Yeah. Fumbles lost, we had 1. Interceptions thrown, 0 for both teams, even though we should have had 4 on the day against Dak Prescott. Yes. Time of possession, they won it with 30.40. We won it 29-20. So time of possession, another spot that you want to gain on your defense on the field way too long. And I'm sure that time of possession came in the later rounds of the fourth quarter when they were able to just drag out 7 minutes of the fourth quarter, which was a good thing. I was thinking, okay, they have the ball, they're moving it, but just taking them all day to move the ball. So you are looking nice there in the time clock because the time was eating away, guys. And we made the Cowboys, you fans, Cody, you fans made the Cowboys call timeout after timeout after timeout in the first half of the game. And I was loving it at home because that's how you win games. It was the fourth quarter with 6 minutes left, and the Cowboys had 1 timeout. Yep. The Cowboys had 1 timeout, and they needed that timeout for that late run that they did not get because the Falcons initially finished the day off 27-21. Let's talk about it real quick, guys. The special teams kick that could have put you up over 8 points. Well, they initially went for that 2-point conversion. If it came down to it, that play would have hurt. Not having that extra point, that play could have hurt the Falcons. We'll start with Robert. The busted field goal play, was it a bad snap? What happened there? I know it wasn't play design, but we'll talk about it for a second. The missed field goal there towards the end of the game to make it a 28 game.
It just looked like a bad snap to me. Just thankfully it didn't come back and harm us. It didn't happen earlier in the game. I mean, we'd already built a big lead. Just one of those things that happens. And fortunately, it didn't happen at a time when it could have been a golden opportunity for the Cowboys to take advantage of it.
Yep. Absolutely. Cody, obviously you was in the building, you seen it. I'm sure Falcon fans were talking about it. Cody, your thoughts on the missed field goal there, the missed execution of the set, whatever it may have been. That could have came back. Just say the Cowboys do recover that onside kick there at the end of the game. Missing that field goal, not having that field goal would have hurt you there at the end of the game because they could initially took the game with a 7-point lead.
Yeah. Initially, I thought that they had designed a run for a coup there for a second, and then they kind of showed the replay, and it was a bad snap. At that point, I was like, I would like to have had the 28 points, but at that point, you could really feel in the stadium that the Cowboys had kind of quit.
They were sucked out of it, dude. And let's be for real right now. Let's be for real. Dak Prescott was getting bullied today. He was ready to get out. He was getting hit too much. He was ready to take a seat.
Acknowledge
CeeDee Lamb was getting bullied today. He had to take a seat on the bench. Let's be real. The Falcons defense bullied the Dak Prescott offense.
Yeah.
Let's acknowledge the fact, though. Dak Prescott was not injured. He got benched. There's a difference. How do you go from wiping the blood off your hand to your hamstring
Dude,
That is the biggest cap I've ever seen in my life. You got embarrassed.
I'll say, did you guys? I don't know if you guys happened to see it, but did you see the video of Dak Prescott? What he said on the sideline? They caught him. We fucking suck.
You damn right you do.
Hey man, Falcon fans, these teams are going to have to respect what the Atlanta Falcons are starting to do to the NFL because it's been so long since Falcons have proven that they are who they really are, and this is the season to do it, man. That's why I love doing this show because all four of us have the same amount of heart for this team that every Falcon fan in this group has. Everybody in the chat has as well. So, I mean, it's nice to be able to come on here and express how we feel about these birds because if I'm being honest, man, it's been a rough 7 years of watching these dirty birds, and it's finally something
and I've enjoyed
exciting.
It still.
Yeah, no doubt, 100%. We're there, win or lose. Feel like we was going to games. We went to at least six games one season, and every game they lost, but we still kept buying tickets to go see them.
Yes, sir.
We love the Atlanta Falcons. That's what we do.
Addiction. You just couldn't get over it with, man. Still to this
Jan Van Reen in the chat said, love you guys. Got to get the kids to bed. Keep this shit going, boys. Love it. Shout out to Jan, man. Me and Jan was doing a little chatting about maybe a potential GoFundMe set up for the podcast to upgrade specific items here for the show. So, Chad, if you would like to do something like that, let me know so me and Jan could chat up about it. Jan's big deal up in Atlanta, man. He's got a couple to connect. So, shout out to the cousin Jan, man. Jan, big things. Definitely goals, bro. Doing big things over in the A. Shout out to my cousin Jan. EQRC in the chat said they even threw a defensive hands to face to save Dallas's drive on that crazy catch. It was crazy, bro. They kept them in this game up until the last drive. Like, up until the offsides kick, Dallas was in the game. If Kyle Pitts doesn't get on that ball, Dallas is in the game. This is why I was absolutely losing my shit in the group chat, guys, because, I mean, if we would have lost this game, there wouldn't have been this podcast tonight. I wouldn't have done a podcast tonight. That's how blowed I would have been about losing this game because this was the dominant win. You know what I'm saying? This was the game that you were going to come out here and just embarrass a team, and you were doing that until that last few drives. Let's talk about it, man. Let's start it with you, Robert. You've seen your team this year alone give up some touchdowns before halftime. You've seen your team give up plays in the last few minutes of games. There's going to come a game, guys, that this is going to matter, and you have got to bite down and own that moment. Why not do it now? Why are we not trying it now in the season? Because it's going to happen, whether it's playoffs, whether it's regular season. Robert, your thoughts on the defense being so lackish of talent there, that last few drives, letting tackles go, letting big plays happen. I know we were probably gassed, but, Robert, your thoughts on that last few drives, giving the Cowboys the drive to put it back in within a touchdown reach?
Well, I think you're right. I think that, the lack of offense there at the end, we kept going 3 and out. The defense did get tired. And, we game plan for Dak, and Cooper Rush comes in, different type of quarterback. I think that kind of played to their advantage a little bit. Now, is Cooper Rush is he a starter in this league? No. But, the dynamics change when he takes the field compared to Dak. And, I think it was just one of those things. Fortunately, it didn't come back to hurt us. But you're right. We have got to do a better job in the closing moments of the first and second halves.
Yeah,
we gave up, especially on opening day. That still irks me now that we gave up those easy plays that led to points for the Steelers. Granted, they didn't see the end zone, but still, I mean, we've got to improve on that.
Mm-hmm. Well, you can even talk about the Cowboys' first drive, the big plays that they took there. I mean, it was 3 plays, and they were down the field. They were on the 20-yard line within 3 plays. It was crazy. And that's got to stop, and that's got to be controlled here. Jimmy Lake did nice adjustments here today after halftime, both sides of the ball with nice adjustments after halftime. So Falcons win in that aspect today for me. Cody, your thoughts on the last drive, bro, and giving up that touchdown. I mean, you were in the chat. You see me losing my balls. Like, I mean, I'm flipping over here, dude. Like, I'm losing it because the Falcons are, to me, man, like, I mean, that's my next lifeline. If the Falcons lose, it's going to be a boring-ass week. I'm going to hear people talk about it. And I don't want to hear people talk about my team. So
Right.
that was going to blow me if we let the Cowboys get back in this thing. Because let's be for real, the new offsides shit is stressful because I for sure thought Cowboys got the ball. And then Kyle Pitts is there to get on top of the ball. And I'm like, it's a flashback. Do you guys remember the team? The
2020.
2020.
I was like, we cannot have another experience like this. Cody, your thoughts on that situation?
Yeah, man. The big thing was you could tell the defense was kind of gassed because you go 3 and out twice. I mean, pretty quick too. And it's like I said when we started the podcast, is you've got to be a little more creative than when you're trying to close teams out, man. I understand that you don't want to throw the ball because it stops the clock, but going 3 and out that fast is no different than if the clock is stopped. Because when it's taken you, I think maybe in that 3 and out, you may have chewed up a minute each.
Yeah.
So I mean, so what's the difference in stopping the clock? There's really not. You cannot get that one-dimensional. And it does hurt, but again, it's things that can be cleaned up. We're talking about a first-year offensive coordinator still figuring things out, and it's always it's always real easy, to be, hindsight being 2020, to be like, oh well, you should have done this. You could have.
Sorry, guys, I did not mean to remove Philip. I was joking around there. I didn't mean to remove him. Continue on, good.
That was funny, but yeah, no, you're good. I was gonna say it was funny, but
Okay.
It's just he's gonna get it figured out, man. And like I say, hindsight is 2020, and we can sit here and talk about it. But when you're in the heat of the moment and you're sitting there trying to win an NFL football game, it's a little different. So, figure that out. Salt away. Because how many times did we see against against other teams that we're throwing the ball and running a 4-minute offense and salted the game away. So. Just do that.
That's what drove me crazy because even when you did the 3 and outs, it was like Bijan. Then you tried an Algier. It was like Bijan. I'm like,
yeah.
Why is there not a Tyler Algier design play in these runoff downs? Because that's what Bijan,
right.
That's what Tyler Algier does. And then you didn't have no creativity. It was a basic straight. It was pretty much a halfback dive is all it was, or a halfback handoff.
And that was my biggest problem today was that Tyler wasn't more involved. That is something Zach Robinson has got to figure out is that, because you could already tell off that first Tyler Algier first down, they got called back on the holding call, which was bullshit because that was called way late.
What was it, Jake Matthews?
Yeah, it was called late, and you're throwing a flag after. I mean, I saw the flag come in.
He legitly slipped.
Yeah.
What was it? Wasn't it the Jake Matthews?
I think so, but it's just
that was crazy. Yeah, that was a terrible, that was a terrible call. But you got to get Tyler more involved. And man, again, you got Kirk Cousins, you've got Kyle Pitts. There's no reason you can't run a little 3-yard slant, 4-yard slant, something in there to pick up those downs. And because the Cowboys the Cowboys couldn't stop much of anything that we were doing. And at that point, it really felt like the Cowboys had quit. And I don't know if it's, sportsmanship that they're kind of looking at. It's like, okay, well, we'll just the hell with it. Fuck the Cowboys. Fuck whoever you're playing. Go ahead and throw the football. If you don't want us to throw the football on you when we're up, 14 points, stop us then. Yeah,
that's a big thing. Stop us then. Yeah. But, in the end, I think it's just one of those things that you got to clean, we'll clean up and, we'll be better next game. But like I say, I just think that the defense was kind of gassed at that point. And, and you could even feel that the fans, like I was still screaming and yelling, and you could see everybody else feel like, holy crap, here we go again.
Yeah.
Everybody put everything into it today. And just that last 5 minutes, you could really tell fans and players
Cody,
were just kind of
Cody, I can feel it at home, bro. I can feel it at home. Me and my brother-in-law's been like, we stand up the whole game. We don't sit down. We stand up side by side.
You do that every game.
Every game, dude. I never take a seat. I'm standing up, whether that's me holding the baby the whole time, arms solid as a rock after the game. By the way, that arm's getting pretty big. I don't know if you can tell or not. But just standing there watching the Falcons play, and I'm like, dude, this is not the way I seen this game closing. Like I seen the Falcons dominating this game. When you went into the fourth quarter and you were up 2 touchdowns, I said, dude, if the Falcons get a stop here, this game's over. We initially don't get a stop. They push the ball down the field. How about the drive when it's 3rd and 6 on our side of the field? My bad. 4th and 6 on our side of the field. The 1 4th down conversion they get, that one play puts the game away. If you can stop that 4th down conversion, you're on your side of the field. A field goal alone ends the game. You can run the clock out, kick the field goal. Game's over. Then you can run your halfback dive, your unprecedented play that you have no thought process in at all. Then you can run that play. But you cannot run that play when you're on their side of the field, on your 20-yard line. When you have a punter that's kind of hit or miss, sometimes Pinion can put it in the end zone, and then Pinion can give you a 13-yard punt. I don't know what it is with Pinion. He can be solid, and he can be just out there. But that's the conversation for another podcast.
That's the New Orleans Saints in him a little bit.
Yeah, that's rubbing off on him.
That's the New Orleans Saint in him a little bit.
Falcon fans, we have reached our hour and 5-minute point here of the podcast for tonight. Episode 104 is in the books. Obviously, we'll be back this week, possibly a Thursday, Friday night podcast. Thursday night if we decide to go to the game Friday. I don't know if there's a game Friday or not, but Thursday or Friday, if you will be back live talking about your Atlanta Falcons facing off with the New Orleans Saints, your division opponent, division biggest rival game there is. You have the chance to sweep 2 teams in the NFC South Sunday, and the Falcons must handle business. Philip, Cody, Robert, it has been a great podcast here tonight. The episode 104 recap, Cowboys versus the Atlanta Falcons. Your Falcons soar high at 6-3. Philip, shout outs for tonight, brother. Rotate over to Cody, Robert, man. Much love. Glad to have y'all here tonight. Your Atlanta Falcons are doing big things this season. Philip, take the mic.
Man, shout out to them boys. We straight walked all over them, so shout out to them. Thanks for giving us a W. But first off, I want to say shout out to God for giving us another day, man. It's a blessing to be here. It is what it is, man. Thanks for letting me be here and be able to wear this hat, feel happy. Yeah, it's just a journey, man. It's just a journey. Like I said, it's gonna be a movie anytime we on here and doing things in life, man. So just like right now, it's a movie. You won't ever get this nowhere else.
Ring that bell, man. Subscribe, man. You heard my
voice. You won't ever get this nowhere else, man. So shout out to y'all for being here. Thankful for everything y'all do, man. We love y'all boys, and it is what it is. We love all y'all in general, man. Thankful for this team. It's so fun to watch. So shout out to them. Shout out to man Glow Man for actually just following me a second ago on Twitter. So
who did?
Appreciate it, D. Shout out to you. Y'all already know what to do. Rise up, baby, and let's go win this game next week in the Bayou.
Glow Man.
You said who followed you? Glow Man followed you?
Glow Man.
Okay. So there's your contact. There's your contact, Philip. Get in the lab, start cooking. D Alfred to the show. Make it happen. That's your goal for the next month. Cody, shout outs for tonight, brother. Glad to have you on the show. As EQRC says, great game equals a great show. Shout out to EQRC. Glad to have EQ in the chat. Much love. Cody, shout outs for tonight, brother.
Yeah, shout out to you guys coming on. Thanks for waiting for me to get home. Had a long day today. Lot of in the car, but man, totally worth it to watch our Falcons do what they do. But so shout out to you guys. Shout out to everybody in the comments late tonight. I know everybody's probably got work tomorrow. But man, it feels good to be an Atlanta Falcon fan. It feels good to be an Atlanta Falcon. Man, shout out to the team. Way to come out, guys, and turn things around at home. You put this game away, you put your foot on their throat, and you didn't let up. It was a little rough there at the end, but hey, you know what? We got the W, and then at the end of the day, I don't care if it's by a point or if it's by 15, man, or just go win, baby. Just win, baby. Shout out to Mom for coming in and being a good sport. Everybody loved her split jersey. Thank you, Falcon fans, for showing Mom love and not giving her too much of a hard time. So I know that might have been hard to see for some fans, but shout out to her for coming on. Shout out to the wife for hanging in there, and being my football buddy. But again, shout out to you guys. Shout out to the Falcons for God, just such a great season, man, so far. And I can't wait for more. But always rise up, fellas.
Absolutely, man.
Yes,
Rise
sir.
up, Cody. Mr. Robert, a.k.a. Megabiff, glad to have you here tonight, brother. It's always a movie when we got Mr. Robert here on the podcast. The duo, the gang, DFU is here to talk Falcon football, as always. Robert, shout-outs for tonight, brother. The Falcons flying high, 6-3, headed into the NFC South divisional opponent rival game week 10 in the NFL. Falcon fans, it's getting deep. We're getting deep here in this official season. Robert, shout-outs for tonight, brother.
Shout out to you guys for letting me be a part of this. I greatly appreciate it. You know, it's the Talk Falcon football. It's, you know, that's one of the joys of life. I appreciate you guys having me on here. It's an honor. Shout out to the Lord above for another day. Shout out to the Falcons for taking care of business today, especially on the defense. Special shout out to Caden Ellis. Doing a good job of leading.
Mr. Caden Ellis. We didn't even talk about him, guys. We didn't even talk about Caden Ellis tonight.
I did.
Okay. So long as we did, Caden
Got
Ellis.
up on his flowers.
Yes, sir. Shout out Caden Ellis.
But shout out to Brianna, Peyton, Zach, and Christy. Love you guys. Rise up.
Now I get the solo layout. Damn it! You three always get the solo layout. It's my turn for the solo layout. Falcon fans, thank you for coming through tonight. We greatly appreciate it. It's been a great show. You guys brought the comments tonight. You hit the like button. You tag Falcon friends. That is what the channel's about, man. Grow for us so we can grow for you. 1K is the goal. We're at 447, I believe it is right now. Hit that subscribe button, man. Share to a Falcon friend. We're going to get this stream back on Twitch, Twitter. It is on Twitch now. Twitter X is not because you have to pay for the blue check. We will have that soon, so be tuned on X. Snapchat, we do the Snapchat thing, we do the TikTok, we do the Facebook groups, we do the Instagram. We're on every platform there is, man. Hit DFU up, leave a like, subscribe, comment. You do not understand how this helps our channel grow, man, so we can bring content to you guys and gals. Falcon fans, hit that like button. We greatly appreciate you guys. It is episode 104. Real quick before we close this thing out, man, shout out to my man Kirk Cousins. Because, guys, Kirk Cousins has made this season what it is. Kirk Cousins, baby, you are a real one. You are my QB1, and I respect you as much as I respect Matty Ice. Get me a couple more wins, baby. Take us to the postseason, and you just may go down as one of the best quarterbacks to play here in Atlanta behind Matty Ice. Kirk Cousins is doing big things here in Atlanta, man. We like that. That's the title should be. We like that.
Like that.
Falcons soar in at 6-3. The Atlanta Falcons team is legit. We are a playoff team this season, Falcon fans. Whether you like it or not, you opponents, no matter if you're a Saints fan watching this later, because it is officially hate week here for DFU. It is hate week. EQRC said, future looks bright. Yes, it absolutely does. These Falcons are rolling and rolling hot. As the title is stated, the description is stated, not everything is big in Texas, but the Atlanta Falcons are flying high, baby. It's your boys from DFU talking Falcon football, man. Hit that like button. A-Town down, rise up. We'll catch you guys Friday night or Thursday.